Let's talk banking now because there is a new kid on the block. The UAE has a new bank. It's a digital-first bank called Ruya. It's based out of Ajman. The CEO is with us in the studio. He is Christopher Koster. Morning, Chris.
Good morning, Richard. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so new bank, Ruya, digital-first. And I'm just wondering why you thought the UAE needed a new bank. You worked for Emirates MBD for nearly a decade. You've been in Abu Dhabi for several years. You will be aware that the UAE has lots of banks. So what made you and the founders sit around thinking, you know what, we need another bank?
Yes, we do need another bank. We are a digital-first Islamic community bank, and we were fundamentally born out of the need and the belief that banks should ethically serve their communities, and especially in the UAE. So we've designed products and services around social responsibility, fairness, and transparency, and that's what we're bringing to the market.
So what does that mean in practice? Because if we had the CEO of any bank in here, he or she would probably say the same thing. They're not going to deny that. They're not going to say, no, community is not important, customer service isn't important. They would all aspire to that. Many of them are Sharia compliant. So where was the gap in the market, the blue sky, if you like?
So the blue sky in the market, there's three fundamental trends and gaps that we're tapping into. It's digital-first banking, ethical consumerism, and community banking. So digital-first banking means that we're digital-first, but not digital only. So as you know, branch banking is seeing a huge transformation, but it's not that branches are dead. So what we've done is we've married high tech with high touch. We've designed a beautiful mobile banking app, and you can open your account with UAE Pass in under 3 minutes. But at the same time, we have a community center in Ajman, our first one, and we're going to build more around the country, where people still have the ability to come and talk to an actual human being. Because when you look at global consumerism preferences, about 70% of people would say that they prefer digital banking, but the same people asked, would you still like the ability to go to a physical space where you can talk to an actual human being and not an AI bot? And they'll say yes.
So you have that. You've got one branch in Ajman at the moment, where you're based. Yeah, I know you've got a back office in Dubai. Will you be getting a branch in, Dubai and Abu Dhabi are the obvious ones?
Yeah, so we've just been in the market for about 2 months now, and our community center in Ajman is open and open to the public and with open doors, and we're looking to build more across other Emirates, across Abu Dhabi and across other Emirates as well. But that element of community banking is where we see another gap in the market, because when you look historically, Germany, the US, 40 to 50% of small business loans and financing comes from community banks. Right? The UAE has a massive SME market with now 550, 600,000 SMEs, but they're being served by the large high street banks, and there's a gap in the market where community banking is seeing a resurgence, and where younger consumers, especially millennials, first and foremost, but millennials are not that young anymore. I mean, it's like I'm counting myself as a millennial, and I'm certainly not young anymore. 75% of millennials would say they align with brands and prefer brands that invest back in local communities, and that's what we're doing. So all of the funds that we're taking as deposits from the community are being reinvested into the community in the UAE.
Let's talk about the Islamic element of this, the Sharia compliant element. Again, we have many Sharia compliant financial institutions here in the UAE, and some of the mainstream banks offer that as well. I was looking on your website, and I love the phrase that you use. This is one of your headlines: no shady deals, just halal fields.
Exactly.
What does that mean?
So it means that Islamic banking for us fundamentally aligns with ethical consumerism, right? And it's not about just being Sharia compliant. It's about designing products and services in a way that empowers our customers to make financially responsible decisions. And all of these values of fairness, transparency, social responsibility, for us very much align with ethical Islamic banking directly. So what we've done is we've eliminated fine print. We don't believe in small print. We only do big print. For instance, our fees and schedule, our schedule of fees and charges is on our community center on a 3.5 meter high video wall in like 5 centimeter large letters, to say that we would be treating our customers just the way friends would do. You wouldn't tell a friend, it was in the fine print, you signed up to it, right? When something goes wrong. So we believe in proactive transparency. And the best way to do this, we found, is to do this through ethical Islamic banking.
How are you going to win customers? We have so much competition at the moment. a lot of trusted banks, whether international names or local names. Ruya obviously isn't that yet. It's not easy to launch a bank. Now, Weo have done it, haven't they, as a pure play bank? So it can be done, but it's not easy. How do you do that?
Certainly not easy. And kudos to Vio. Jesh and I work together at Emirates MBD, and we're good friends. So I've been following their story very closely, and it's certainly not easy. We're seeing some really, really amazing initial traction. We've launched 2 months ago, and we've got thousands and thousands of downloads and thousands of new customers. So people do believe in the story of ethical consumerism and ethical Islamic banking. We've eliminated minimum balance requirements. There's no hidden fees, no minimum balance, so everybody can sign up without any fees or any minimum balance.
In terms of borrowing money and lending money, you borrow money from depositors typically. And again, I know there's quite fierce competition in the market at the moment. Base rates 5.5% or thereabouts at the moment. What are you doing to entice me or Tom or anyone listening to this to deposit their money with you rather than XYZ Bank that's offering 5% plus?
Right. So what we're doing right now is we've launched our savings account for individuals. We'll be announcing our savings rate at the beginning of July, because we're doing this retrospectively in Q2. Because one of the beauties about ethical Islamic banking is that we're sharing our profits with our customers. So it's a retrospective profit sharing where we're going to say this is the amount of money that we've made in Q2 of 2024, and dear depositor, thank you very much. This is your share of that profit, and that share is always going to be predictable for customers, and they're going to know what they're going to get out of this. So if we prosper, our customers prosper directly and proportionately. And what we're going to be doing in July as well, we're going to be announcing very attractive headline Wakala fixed deposit rate. So yes, we are passing on the beneficial interest rates that we're seeing in the market onto our customers, and we've launched with liability products, a current account, savings account, and we'll be building our deposit book over the course of the year, and entice customers with attractive savings rate as well.
Another way to win customers is obviously marketing. Customer acquisition for any digital company is expensive. Some of that will be online. Got to ask you before you go, our big talking point this morning is cold calling and new rules and regulations on that. What are your thoughts on cold calling, and will we be getting a call from Ruya Bank anytime soon saying, what was the quote we heard earlier? You don't know me from Adam, but I'd like to talk to you about XYZ.
Yeah, so in line with our values of ethical consumerism and proactive transparency and fairness, we are certainly not going to be calling you to push products. The only reason we're going to be calling you is to say thank you, to say, can we help you with something? Or if you have called in or came to us with a problem or a question earlier, then we're going to respond to that. But we're not going to be cold calling customers, pushing unnecessary products and unnecessary borrowing into the market.
Going to let you go. Christopher Koster is the CEO of Ruya Bank. He's heading off to Ajman now, where headquarters is based. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you very much, Richard. Appreciate it.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.